For my SPED talk today, I wanted to cover a few different ways we can manipulate objects, combine them together, assign one to another, just deal with the data. What we have on the screen here, I've got two temporary objects in my developer console here, Object A, Object B. They both have different properties. If I assign one to the other, this will look like it's cloning the objects, which it is to the extent that they are both have the same data. However, it's doing more than cloning. It is taking the reference and having them both reference both both the same spot in memory. That means that if I update B and give it another property, B will have that property. A will also have that property because they're referencing their same memory. Okay? That could cause issues that we might not want. So instead, what you can do if you just want to clone the data, let me reset this here. If you just want to clone the data, you can use JQuery's extend function. Now, JQuery is a very common JavaScript library. A lot of sites and environments have it by default nowadays, so it's really easy to find. But you use extend, true, to show you want to clone it, and then the last thing is what you want to clone. So I'm going to make A, assign this to the extend function, and now A will equal the same data as B, except they're no longer referencing the same thing. So if I give B a new property, B will have it, but A will not, because they're no longer referencing the same point of data. So that's a successful clone right there. Now, what if instead of cloning, you want to merge two objects together? Meaning you want things that are in one object and things in another object, you want them to come together where things are being overwritten, but if something isn't showing in one object, it's not going to be deleted from the other object. For instance, we have two objects here, source object, object updates. They both have names, and that's about it. A lot of other things are different. Source object has a purpose, object updates does not, but it's got version and author. So if we wanted to keep both pieces of data and only update what exists in both of them without deleting what doesn't exist in both, we can use JavaScript ES6 versions Object.assign. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it the target. So source object is what I want to update, and I want to update it with object updates. And when I do this, you can see the things that object updates had different, we're going to change that. So name is no longer source, it's now new name. We also have the purpose still, so purpose is still there, as well as version and author. We've successfully merged the two properties together. Now, be aware this is called a shallow merge, meaning only the top level gets merged. The nested properties here, the only thing that's in here is what was in object updates. That means that these were just cloned because it was shallow. It was a shallow merge. So nested props did not get both objects. We just took nested props from object updates and slapped it onto here. And that might not be what you want. Most of the time, it's not what I want. So what can we do? One of the simplest solutions is to use a different library, and this is called Lodash. Lodash is a really good toolkit to have. I've just started using it, and I really like it. You'll want to make sure you get it installed. You can tell by doing lodash.version up here, and if it shows a version number, you know you've got it in your environment. I've got the same objects here. Now, instead of using Object.assign, I'm going to use Lodash.merge. I will have the source object and then the object updates. Now what we see, we still have our shallow copy, the top level. Everything is added where it needs to be. Things are updated from object updates. But now, since it's a deep copy instead of a shallow copy, we have everything from the source object, all the properties, as well as all the properties from the object updates, and they've just updated it instead of overwritten it. And that includes even, deeper nests than just the second level. So we've got a level 2 nest here, and everything is where it should be. So this has been a really useful function for me lately in work, and I hope that it gives you guys some ideas of what you can do to make your objects more robust and work them together to be able to merge data together without overwriting. And that's it.